Greetings! In today's video, we'll be talking about a lot of stuff, all linked together by this sketchbook. I'll be sharing a review of said sketchbook, as well as take you through a tour of the sketches in it, which includes the art I made for World Watercolor Month 2017. This is Strathmore's mixed media softcover art journal. It has 64 pages and is available in two formats, 7.75 inches by 9.75 inches and 5.5 inches by 8 inches. The paper is acid-free and archival quality. It is made from 100% cotton and has a paper weight of 90 pounds. The paper has a very minimal texture, but it's not completely smooth either. The cover is soft and pliable, but it's made of an odd material that is super easy to mark or scrape away. The type of bookbinding for this sketchbook is perfect bound. In this case, 8 paper leaflets, or signatures, have been sewn and glued together. I've noticed that the binding has changed a bit between my older book and my newer, empty one. The new book has 4 larger signatures instead of 8 smaller ones. The cover material is not fixed to the binding, so it doesn't crease if you open your book flat. The sketchbook itself can withstand a decent amount of abuse. I never take special care of my sketchbooks, and you can see that aside for the cover material, it has taken everything rather well. Even though this is a mixed media book, I've only used it for inks and watercolors, with the odd touch of color pencils, so I can only vouch for those mediums. It takes ink very well, without feathering or showing through. I've mostly used fountain pen inks. It's safe to assume that alcohol inks would indeed be absorbed and show through the paper. By alcohol inks, I mean everything like Copic and touch markers. I was also able to use watercolor without much buckling, especially with light washes. It is not a good paper for layering or big wet washes, in my opinion. As for coloring pencils or graphite pencil, it tends to rub off on the next page. It's also fairly easy to smudge, due to the texture of the paper. Then again, I haven't used those extensively in this sketchbook, so my experience is very limited. I really enjoyed painting my way through this sketchbook. I love the vertical format, and the size as well. It was nice to work on a larger area than most of the watercolor-friendly sketchbooks I've used in the past. I was able to work on both sides of the paper with no issue at all. You can literally feel it cover to cover, and it works fine. I liked it enough to get spares, so this one has my seal of approval indeed. I'll see if the different binding affects the way the sketchbook worked for me the first time, but still, I really love the paper. I think it's a very good sketchbook for journaling. As I go through this book, you can see the drawings I did for World Watercolor Month this year. This project was created by Charlie O'Shields, the man behind the Doodle Wash website. The idea is to paint something with watercolor every day for the month of July. They offer a list of prompts, but you don't have to follow it. I opted for sketches, covering a lot of subjects from food to animals to landscapes. I used the Van Gogh Pocket paint set, but occasionally my own handmade watercolor paints or another travel set if I was away from my regular supplies. It was a fun challenge, and hopefully next year I'll find a topic to make all my sketches more connected. To conclude, I'd say that World Watercolor Month is fun and worth doing. And also that these sketchbooks by Strathmore are a lot of fun for sketching. If you don't want to use your best paper for studies and quick paintings, these might be worth a try. They take ink and watercolor really well, and since you can use both sides of the paper, you can cover more ground while practicing. As I tend to have a lot of sketchbook and not a lot of room to store them, I really love when sketchbooks have paper that I can use on both sides. Do you think you'd love these sketchbooks? Have you tried them before? Let me know what you think. Take care, bye bye.